Chapter 6. The Interview. Monday, October 27th. Evening. When I got home, I didn't tell my mom about Grandma's plans for the wedding. My mom was in the bathroom. She was feeling sick because she was pregnant. Mr. Giannini was in the apartment. It was nearly time for my TV interview with Beverly Bellerive. He switched on the TV and we watched it together. The interview was horrible. It went like this. A man's voice spoke at the beginning of the show. He was the announcer. Voice.
It is Monday, the 27th of October. On 24/7 tonight is Beverly Bellerive's interview with America's Princess, Mia Ronaldo.
A picture of me and Beverly Bellerive came on the TV. We were in the penthouse suite of the Plaza Hotel. Beverly looked at the TV camera and spoke. Beverly.
This is the amazing story of an ordinary teenage girl. She lives in New York City with her mom, Helen Thermopoulos. Helen Thermopoulos is an artist. A month ago, Mia was a normal teenager. Her life was filled with ordinary teenage things like homework and friends. Then one day, everything changed.
Then Beverly turned to me and started asking questions. Beverly.
Mia, please tell us about that day, the day when your life changed completely.
Me. I was here at the plaza with my dad. He told me 2 pieces of amazing news. First he said, I am the Prince of Genovia. Then he said, you are the Princess of Genovia and my heir. When I die, you'll become the ruler of Genovia. Beverly.
How did you feel about that news?
Me. I was really upset. Me, a princess. I didn't want anyone at school to know. I didn't want to be a freak like my friend Tina Hakim Baba. Tina's life is strange and lonely. Her father owns an oil company, and he's very rich. Tina's parents worry about her safety. A bodyguard goes everywhere with her. He even comes to school. But that's what has happened to me, too. I have a bodyguard. I'm a freak, too. A huge freak. Beverly.
Oh, Mia, I can't believe that. Aren't you popular at school?
Me. No, I'm not. I'm not popular at all. Only the jocks, the boys who are very good at sport, are popular in my school. And the cheerleaders, the girls who shout and cheer while the jocks play, are popular too. But the popular people aren't my friends. I never get invited to their parties. Those are the really cool parties. Everyone drinks beer and everyone makes out. Kisses. Beverly.
Your grandmother, the Dowager Princess of Genovia, is helping you, isn't she? She's showing you how to be a princess.
Me. Oh, yes. She's giving me princess classes after school. Beverly.
Mia, you had some exciting news recently.
Me. Oh, yes, I'm very excited. I've always wanted to be a big sister, but my mom and her boyfriend won't have a big wedding. At that moment, my mom came out of the bathroom. She looked at the TV. She heard what I was saying on the film. Her mouth opened in shock. I had told the whole of America her private business. We watched the rest of the TV show. As we watched, I became more and more embarrassed. The interview ended like this. Beverly.
Amelia Mignonette Thermopoulos Ronaldo isn't a jock or a cheerleader, but she is a very unusual girl. She's a modern princess. She is America's princess. Mia has the same problems as all American teenagers, but one day she will rule a country, and next year Mia will be a big sister. 24/7 is the show that heard Mia's exciting news first. Mia's mother, Helen Thermopoulos, is expecting a baby in July. The father of Helen's baby is Frank Giannini, Mia's algebra teacher at Albert Einstein High School. Frank and Helen will be having a small, quiet wedding.
Mom and Mr. Giannini were nice to me. They weren't mad, but they were upset. The phone rang. It was Lily. My best friend was mad. You called us freaks, she said angrily. What did you mean? Lily, I didn't call you a freak, I said. You said only jocks and cheerleaders are popular at my school, Lily replied. You said I don't go around with the popular kids. All your friends are unpopular. That's what you mean, isn't it? Your friends aren't cool. They're weird. They're freaks. Then she hung up the phone. A few seconds later, the phone rang again. It was my friend Shamika. Mia, she said, I invited you to my party. Do you remember? Yes, I replied. Well, my dad won't let me have a party now, said Shamika. My dad said, now parents of students at Albert Einstein know the truth. Mia Thermopolis has told us what happens at teenage parties in this area. Students have sex and drink beer at their parties. You can't have your party. Oh, Shamika, I said. I am so sorry. Shamika hung up the phone. The phone rang again. It was Tina Hakim Baba. Immediately I apologized to her. I'm sorry, Tina, I said. Why are you sorry? Asked Tina happily. You said my name on TV. I know. I had also called Tina a freak. I can't believe it, she said. It was so cool. It's the most exciting thing that has ever happened to me. You aren't mad at me? I said. Did your dad see the interview too? Yes, said Tina. He's very pleased. Now everyone knows about my bodyguard, Wahim. He protects me everywhere I go. Tina hung up. The phone rang for the fourth time. It was Grandmère. Well, she said. That was terrible, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Grandmère, I said. I didn't mean to say bad things about my school. But Grandmère wasn't talking about my high school. That Bellerive woman didn't show any pictures of Genovia, she said. We need more tourists to come to our country. Maybe I'll have to go to another school now, I said. But Grandmère wasn't listening to me. Suddenly she hung up the phone. Mia, my mom said, the interview wasn't that bad. You told the truth about the jocks and the cheerleaders. I went into my room and switched on my computer. I'd received a message from Michael Moskovitz. We had this chat room conversation. Crack King. Hi, I just saw you on TV. You were very good. F.T. Louis. It was terrible. Crack King. Well, you told the truth. F.T. Louis. But Mom and Mr. Giannini are upset, and Lily and Shamika are mad at me now. Crack King. Don't worry about Lily. She's jealous because more people watched your interview than her TV show. What are you doing on Saturday night? I read the last line of his message again. Was Michael Moskovitz asking me out on a date? F.T. Louis. I don't know. Why? Crack King. Well, Saturday is the day after Halloween. I'm going to a movie theater with some friends. We're going to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a really funny movie. Everyone is going to celebrate Halloween. We'll all wear scary costumes and crazy makeup. Do you want to come? Okay. Michael wasn't asking me out alone with him, but it will be nice to go out with him and his friends. Then I remembered my mom's wedding. F.T. Louis. Can I give you my answer later? Maybe I'm doing something with my family on Saturday night. I'll speak to you later. Crack King. Sure, okay. Chapter 7. Surprise Visitors. Tuesday, October 27th. Algebra class. This morning, Principal Gupta, the head of Albert Einstein High School, asked me to come to her office. Are you very unhappy here at Albert Einstein? She said. She looked worried. Last night, in your TV interview, you said I'm not popular. But everyone in the school knows who you are. They know me because I'm a princess, I replied. My story was printed in newspapers and magazines. Before that, very few people wanted to know me.
You must join one of the school clubs,
said Principal Gupta.
Then you'll meet more students. You'll have more friends.
Principal Gupta, I said, I don't have time for clubs. I don't have any time for myself after school finishes. Every afternoon, I have an extra algebra class, and then I have a princess class with my grandmother. In the evenings, I do my homework. Principal Gupta doesn't understand. Late morning. Lily's boyfriend, Boris Palkowski, told me a secret about Lily. She is secretly writing a book about our school. I can't believe it. Why does Lily only tell Boris her secrets? Why doesn't she tell me? Lily and I have been best friends since elementary school. I tell Lily everything. Well, almost everything. She didn't know about my mom and Mr. Giannini's wedding and their baby. She doesn't know about my feelings for her brother. And she doesn't know about my secret admirer. But I tell her nearly everything else. Afternoon. Kenny, my partner in biology class, spoke to me after class today. Are you doing anything on Saturday night? He asked. I'm not sure, I replied. Maybe I'll be eating dinner with my family. Well, I'm going to see a movie, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, with some friends from the computer club, he said. Will you come too? Is Michael Moskovitz one of your friends? I asked. Yes, said Kenny. 6 p.m. in the limousine. I'm with Lars. We're going back to the apartment. I've just been to see Grand-Mère at the Plaza Hotel for my princess lesson. I walked into the suite and I had a shock. Lots of people were there. There were people talking about food and wine and flowers. Others were writing names on cards. Vigo was running about, telling everyone what to do. Grand-Mère was sitting and eating chocolates. Her little dog was sitting under her chair. He was shaking with fear. Ah, Amelia, said Grand-Mère. Sit down. You can help me. Taste these chocolates. Which chocolates are best for the wedding guests? Grand-Mère, I said, sitting down on a chair next to her. Mom really won't be happy about these arrangements. She doesn't want a big wedding. Nonsense, said Grand-Mère loudly, in a scary voice. This will be a wonderful event. I'm inviting lots of famous people. Many of them are very rich. Some of them are members of royal families. It's impossible to argue with Grand-Mère. She never listens to me. So after my princess class, I went to my dad's hotel suite. I knocked on the door, but he didn't answer. I went and talked to the hotel receptionist. The prince left the hotel a few hours ago, she said. Beverly Bellerive was with him. 10 p.m. When I got home, there were strangers in the apartment. A family. A mom and a dad and a boy with long blonde hair was in the dining room. They were sitting around the table. They had suitcases with them. Mia, don't you remember me? Asked the woman. I stared at her. Suddenly, I recognized the woman. My mouth fell open in shock. I couldn't believe it. Grandmother Thermopolis? I said. Mia, said the woman. You've never called me grandmother. I'm Mamour. My mom's mother, Mamour, and my mom's father, Papour, were in our apartment. I didn't recognize the young guy. He was dressed like a farmer. He was wearing a cotton shirt and denim overalls. My mom's parents live in the state of Indiana. Indiana is hundreds of miles away from the state of New York. My grandparents live in a small town called Versailles. They've never been to New York City before. My mom doesn't talk to her parents very often. We haven't visited Maman or Papour for 4 years. When I was born, they were angry. This was because my mom didn't marry my father. My grandparents didn't help my mom when I was a baby. They didn't give her advice or any money. I went to find my mom. She was in her bedroom. She was talking to my dad on the phone. Philippe, she was saying angrily, your mother has invited my parents to New York. My parents, Philippe. You know how I feel about my parents. Then she saw me standing by the door. Are your grandparents still out there? She whispered. Yes, I said. Did you invite Maman and Papour here? No, I did not, said my mom. Grand-mère Clarisse invited them. She's arranged a big wedding. It's gonna be on Saturday. Her voice was getting louder and louder. Your grand-mère has invited hundreds of people, all her friends. I felt terrible. I had forgotten to tell my mom about grand-mère's wedding plans. Mom held out the phone toward me. Your dad wants to talk to you, she said. Mia? Said my dad. I've arranged for your mother's parents to stay at the Soho Grand Hotel. It's near your apartment. I'll send Lars with the limousine. Put the Thermopolises in the car. Lars will take them to the hotel. Okay, Dad, I said. But what about Grand-mère's plans for the wedding? Don't worry, Mia, he said. I'll talk to Grand-mère. I returned to the living room. My grandparents were still sitting at the table, but the young guy was in the kitchen. He was looking inside the refrigerator. I'm hungry, he said. Do you have anything to eat? No, I said, but you'll be able to order food from your hotel room. A hotel room? Said Maman. Papour and your cousin Hank and I have come all the way from Indiana to see you, and you're going to put us in a hotel? I stared at the big blonde guy. This was my cousin Hank? Hank is the son of my mom's sister, Marie. When I last saw Hank, he was about 13 years old, and I was about 10. Hank had been a thin little boy. Now he was big and more than 6 feet tall. That Frenchwoman, Clarisse Ronaldo, called us, said Maman. She told us to come here. She was going to pay for our visit. We can't pay for an expensive New York hotel. That's okay, I said. My father will pay your hotel bill. Oh, good, said Maman, smiling. Let's go. When Lars came with the limousine, I went with them to the hotel. But when we arrived at the Soho Grand, I had another surprise. Mia, will you take Hank to school with you tomorrow? Asked Maman. Oh, you don't want to go to school with me, Hank, I said quickly. You're on vacation. But I want to see what a New York City high school is like, said Hank. When he said New York, Hank pronounced the words New York. People from Indiana don't speak like people who live in New York. They have a different accent. Then Hank whispered to me so that Maman didn't hear. And I want to see what New York girls are like, he said. So I had to say okay. When I got home, Mom was lying on her bed. She was reading a magazine. Her eyes were red from crying. Oh, Mia, she said. Come here and let me hug you. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person. Grand-mère Clarisse has made me angry and upset. She's planned everything. She's arranged when I will be married. She's chosen the place for my wedding. She's invited the guests. And Grand-mère asked my parents to come to New York. They've come all the way from Indiana to see me, but I didn't want to speak to them. I didn't want them to stay here. I sent them to a hotel. But I didn't think about your feelings. I felt sorry for my mom. Pregnancy should be a happy time. All this is Grand-mère's fault. She's made my mom unhappy. 11 p.m. Josie Rocks has sent me another email. Josie Rocks. Dear Mia, I saw you on TV last night. You looked beautiful. Don't worry about your problems with some people at school. You're really great. That's what most of us think. Your friend. I wrote back immediately. F.T. Louie. Dear friend, thank you very much. Please tell me who you are. I won't tell anyone. I promise. Mia. My secret admirer hasn't written back yet. Chapter 8. The Boy from Indiana. Wednesday, October 29th. Some surprising things happened when Hank came to school with me today, and these things made me look at my cousin more carefully. Suddenly, I realized something. Hank has changed a lot in 4 years. Hank wears the kind of clothes that farmers wear: boots, a cotton shirt, and denim overalls. These are not the kind of clothes that young guys wear in New York. But Hank is big and strong, and he has a really nice body. His hair is blonde, and his eyes are dark blue. In fact, Hank is gorgeous. All the girls stared at him as he walked through the school hall. "Who is that sexy guy?" they asked me. When Lana Weinberger first saw Hank, her eyes opened wide with surprise. "Who's your friend?" she asked me. "He's not my friend, he's my cousin," I replied. "Well, you can be my friend," Lana said to Hank. "Thanks," replied Hank. He looked down at Lana and smiled. But the biggest surprise of all was Lily. When she saw Hank, her mouth fell open and she couldn't speak. She just stared at him. Afternoon. I don't believe what has happened today. Lily and Hank have disappeared. Nobody knows where they are. Lily's boyfriend Boris is really worried. At lunch, Lily asked Hank lots of questions about his life in Indiana. "Do you have a girlfriend?" she asked. "No, I don't," said Hank. "I was dating a girl called Amber, but we broke up 2 weeks ago." Then Lily started telling Hank about New York. "You'll be bored here in school with Mia," she said. "Go visit some places in the city. There are lots of exciting things to see." Since lunch, nobody has seen Lily or Hank. Lily will be in a lot of trouble. She's run away with Hank, and she's missing her classes. Now I have to tell my grandparents. Their grandson has disappeared. What will Mamour and Papour say? Algebra class. I told Laws, my bodyguard, what has happened. "Lily and Hank have disappeared. They've run away together," I said. "I'll call the police." "No, wait," Lars said. Then he spoke to Mr. Giannini. Mr. Giannini agreed with Lars. "Lily is quite sensible," my algebra teacher said. "She'll look after Hank." But I'm really worried. Have Lily and Hank fallen in love with each other? Hank isn't very smart, but perhaps Lily doesn't care about this. He is very good-looking. 7 p.m. Hank and Lily are okay. They're safe. Hank got back to the Soho Grand Hotel at about 5 o'clock. Lily got back to her apartment at about the same time. "We've been walking around the city," they said. I don't believe them, but I have more important things to worry about. When I went to the Plaza Hotel for my princess class with Grandmère, my dad was outside her door. He was looking nervous. "Mia," he said, "I have some bad news. Grandmère has already sent out the wedding invitations." "What?" I said. "Don't worry," said my dad. "I'll take care of everything." My dad is a good man, but Grandmère is stronger than him. He won't be able to stop her. I walked into Grandmère's suite. The royal wedding planner, Vigo, was with her. "Lots of famous people have accepted our invitations," said Vigo proudly. "It'll be the biggest, most important wedding in New York this year." I didn't say anything. I was thinking about Mom. She was going to be shocked when she saw hundreds of famous people at her wedding. None of them are her friends. "Your dress for the wedding has arrived," said Vigo. And suddenly he pulled a dress from a box. "What do you think?" I've never seen such a beautiful dress. It was pink with a huge skirt. As soon as I saw that dress, I wanted it. I wanted it more than anything in the world. And then I remembered. This dress was for my mom's wedding, the big wedding that Grandmère had planned. I felt terrible. I'm a bad daughter. I can't wear the dress. My mom doesn't want a big wedding. I don't want this big wedding to happen. Only Grandmère wants this wedding. It is a beautiful dress, I thought. I want Michael or Josie Rocks to see me wearing it. I'll look like a real princess in this dress. Chapter 9. Secrets and Lies. Thursday, October 30th. English class. Hank didn't come to school with me today. He called the apartment early in the morning. "I'm sick," he said. Last night, Mr. Giannini took Mom, me, Mamor, Papour, and Hank to dinner at a famous restaurant. Everybody had a very good time, and they ate a lot. If Hank is sick, I'm not surprised. When Hank didn't come to school today, all the girls were very disappointed. Only Boris was happy. He's very jealous of Hank. Does Lily like Hank more than Boris? I don't know. Afternoon. Lily and Hank have disappeared again. Before lunch, my mom called Lars on his cell phone. Mamor had spoken to Mom because Hank was missing from his hotel room. Mamor was worried about her grandson. "Lars, did Hank go to school with Mia today?" asked my mom. "No," said Lars. Then at lunchtime, Lily said, "I'm feeling sick. I'm going home." I don't believe what Lily said. She isn't sick. She's gone to meet Hank somewhere. That's what I think. What are Hank and Lily doing? Do they love each other? Are they having sex? 7 p.m. In the limousine. I've just had another shock. Now I'm in the limousine with Lars. He's driving me to my apartment. When I went to Grandma's suite today, Mamor was there. Mamor and Grandmère were sitting on couches and drinking tea. They were talking about someone. Vigo was speaking on the phone. He was making more arrangements for the wedding. "She was always very stubborn," Mamor was saying. "She never takes advice or listens to anyone." "I am not stubborn," I said. "Don't enter the room in that rude way, Amelia," said Grandmère. She spoke in French. "Come here and say hello to me properly." I went and kissed Grandmère on both of her cheeks. Then I kissed Mamor on both of her cheeks, too. Mamor laughed and said, "We don't say hello like that in Indiana." "Now, Shirley," Grandmère said to Mamor in English. "What were we talking about?" "Helen is being difficult about this wedding, and I'm not surprised," said Mamor. "But Papour and I are very happy. Frank Giannini is very nice." So they weren't talking about me. They were talking about my mom. They're arranging this wedding together. "Surely we both agree," said Grandmère. "This wedding will take place. It must take place." "Oh, certainly, Your Highness," said Mamor. "But Grandmère," I said, "Mom doesn't want—" "Vigo!" shouted Grandmère. "Bring those shoes for the princess. She'll wear them with her new pink dress on Saturday." Vigo came toward me with a pair of pink shoes. They were the same color as my dress. They were the prettiest shoes that I've ever seen. "Aren't they lovely?" said Vigo. "Put them on." The beautiful shoes fit me perfectly. "It's sad," said Grandmère. "Your mother doesn't want this wedding. We'll have to send the shoes back to the store." "Can I keep them for another time?" I asked. "Oh, no," said Grandmère quickly. "You can only wear pink shoes at a wedding." I'm worried. My dad promised to stop this wedding, but he hasn't done anything. He won't be able to stop Grandmère. She has arranged for a limousine to come to our apartment on Saturday. The driver will pick up me, Mom, and Mr. Giannini. Will my mom refuse to get into the car on November 1st? 9 p.m. Mr. Giannini has moved into our apartment. He brought with him a table with a football game on it and a TV. The football table is great. I've already played 9 games. "You can call me Frank now, Mia," he said. But it's very difficult for me to call Mr. Giannini Frank. He's my algebra teacher. I asked my mom about the wedding on Saturday, but she just smiled.
"Don't worry about that, Mia," she said.
Mom didn't say anything more. She didn't want to talk about the wedding, so I called Lily. Her phone line was busy, so I sent her an instant message on the internet. When Lily and I chat online, Lily uses the name WMN Rule. It means women are cool. FT Louie. Where did you and Hank go to today? WMN Rule. I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret. FT Louie. Lily, I'm worried about you. You missed classes today, and Boris was upset too. WMN Rule. Well, Boris has to trust me, and you must trust me too, Mia. Suddenly, I received a new message from Josie Rocks. Josie Rocks.
"Are you coming to see the Rocky Horror Show movie?"
Josie Rocks is going to the Rocky Horror movie on Saturday. Michael is going to the Rocky Horror movie too. Michael must be Josie Rocks. I felt really happy and excited. I wanted to run around the room. I wanted to scream and laugh at the same time. I wrote back immediately. FT Louie. Yes, I want to come to the movie. Chapter 10. Hank's Dream Comes True. Friday, October 31st. Halloween. I was completely wrong about Lily Moskovitz. At lunch, I found out the truth about her and Hank. We were all sitting in the school cafeteria, me and my bodyguard Lars, Tina Hakim Baba and her bodyguard Wahim, Lily, Boris, and our friends Shamika and Ling Su. Suddenly, someone walked up to our table. We looked up. A tall, very handsome young man was standing there. We all stared in surprise. It was Hank, but he looked very different. Everyone in the cafeteria stopped talking. They were all looking at him. Hank was wearing a black sweater, a long black leather coat, black jeans, and black boots. His blonde hair had been cut short. He looked like the actor Keanu Reeves in the film The Matrix.
"Hello, Mia,"
said my cousin sitting down beside me. Hank's clothes were different, but his voice was different too. It was deeper. He didn't pronounce words like a person from Indiana. He no longer had an Indiana accent. So, Lily said to him, what happened?
"Well,"
Hank said in his new, deep voice.
"I have to thank you, Lily. I got the job. I'm going to be a model. A famous fashion company wants me to model underwear. Pictures of me will soon be in magazines and on TV.
He smiled a huge smile.
"Mia,"
he said, turning to me,
"your friend has done something that no one has ever done for me in my life."
What had Lily done?
"When I was a young boy, I had a dream about being a model,"
said Hank.
"I wanted to be a fashion model, but everyone laughed at me. When I told Lily about my dream, she helped me. Now my dream has come true. I'm going to be a model. I'm going to be rich and famous."
I only helped you a little, Hank, said Lily. I told you where to go, and I told you who to meet. You did the rest yourself. Suddenly, Hank stood up and pulled Lily to her feet. Then he kissed her for a long time. Everyone stared at them. When Hank let Lily go, she sat down slowly.
"I'm never going back to Versailles with Maman and Papour,"
Hank said to me.
"Please tell them that."
Then he turned, and he started to walk out of the cafeteria. But just as Hank reached the door, Boris stood up. He grabbed Hank's arm.
"Hey, you,"
Boris said.
"Lily is my girl, not yours."
Two boys were arguing because of Lily. It was very romantic. I want a boy to call me his girl. I want Michael to call me his girl. Then Boris hit Hank in the face, but Boris hurt his own hand. He didn't hurt Hank. Afternoon. I used Lars's cell phone to call Mamour and Papour at their hotel. Mamour answered the call. It's me, I said. I'm calling with news about Hank. Where is he? Shouted Mamour. Mamour, I said. Hank is okay. He's going to be a model. He's got a contract with one of the best modeling agencies in New York. He's going to model underwear. He's going to be very famous.
Underwear? Mamour shouted. My grandson is going to model underwear? Mia, tell Hank to call me right now. He is in big trouble.
Okay, Mamour, I said. Is the wedding still going to take place tomorrow? Did you talk to my mom?
Of course, said Mamour. Everything is ready.
Really? I said. I was very surprised. Has Mom agreed to the plans? Will she be at the gold and white room at the plaza on Saturday?
Yeah, she'll be there, said Mamour.
I hung up the phone. I felt sad and a little disappointed. I was sad for Mom because she didn't want a big wedding, and I was sad for myself because I didn't want to go to the wedding on Saturday. I wanted to go to the Rocky Horror movie with Michael. Later, I talked with Lily about Hank. Michael was there too. Me. Why did you help Hank become a model, Lily? Lily. Hank had a dream about becoming a model, so I helped him. I gave him some advice about fashion. I helped him to speak without his Indiana accent. Then he went to the modeling agency. They said, "You're tall and you have an excellent body. Your face, skin, eyes, teeth, and hair are very good." Then a photographer took some photos of Hank. The pictures were great. The agency became very excited. The next day, they gave him a job. Me. Why was Hank's visit to the agency a big secret? Why didn't you tell me about it? Lily. Because he didn't want you to laugh at him. Hank is your cousin. You don't see him as other people see him. But he's a very special person. He'll do great things. His dream can come true. Michael.
Yeah, he'll model underwear.
Lily. You're jealous, Michael. Hank is going to be a supermodel. Michael didn't say anything else to me all day. Is he Josie Rocks, my secret admirer? Why won't he tell me? 5 reasons why Michael won't tell me. 1. He's shy. He can't tell me his real feelings. 2. He thinks that I don't like him. 3. He's thought about me, and now he doesn't like me. 4. He doesn't want a freshman to be his girlfriend. He's older than me. He's a senior. 5. He isn't Josie Rocks. Chapter 11. My Mom's Wedding Day. Saturday, November 1st, 7 p.m. The Plaza Hotel. It's been a very strange day. When I woke up this morning, the apartment was very quiet. I went to my mom's bedroom and knocked on the door, but nobody answered. So I opened the door and went inside. No one was there. A few minutes later, the phone rang. It was my dad. "Dad, Mom has disappeared," I said. "And Mr. Giannini isn't here either. Where are they?"
Don't worry, Mia, said my dad. Your mother is okay. She's written you a letter. I have it here. You can have it at 8 o'clock tonight.
But Dad, the wedding is at 8 o'clock tonight.
I know, said my dad. I have to go now, Mia.
No, Dad, wait. But my dad hung up the phone. Then it rang again. It was Grandmère.
Are you and your mother ready? She asked. We're all going to the beauty salon. You have to get your hair and makeup done.
Mom's left already, I said.
Well, said Grandmère, the limousine is coming to your apartment at 10 o'clock to pick you up.
When the limousine arrived, Grandmère was sitting in it with Mamour.
Your mother has gone to another beauty salon, said Grandmère. Your father told me.
We went to Grandmère's favorite beauty salon, Chez Paolo. We stayed there all day. When we left, our hair and makeup looked beautiful. Then we went back to the Plaza Hotel, and I put on my lovely pink dress and shoes. I'm sitting here in a little room, waiting for my mom. 9 p.m. My mom and Mr. Giannini are married. At 7:45, the wedding guests began to arrive at the white and gold room. Hundreds of famous people came. There were rock stars, millionaires, and film actors. There were members of royal families and beautiful models. At 8 o'clock, I asked my dad for my mom's letter. I read it, and then I had to sit down. I couldn't believe what I read. Then my dad went to the front of the room and made a speech to the guests.
"Thank you all for coming here tonight," he said. "Unfortunately, the wedding will not take place this evening. This morning, Helen Thermopolis and Frank Giannini eloped. They flew to Mexico and got married secretly."
Grandmère screamed and almost fell from her chair. Vigo ran to help her.
"But please stay and have dinner with us," continued my dad. "There is lots of wonderful food and wine in the ballroom. And thank you again for coming."
The guests were very surprised. They stood up and went into the ballroom. I read the letter from my mom again. "My dear Mia, you will be reading this letter at 8 o'clock. By that time, Frank and I will be married. I couldn't tell you our plans before. I didn't want your grandmother to ask you questions about us. You're a wonderful daughter, and you've helped me a lot during this crazy time. This new baby will be very lucky. He or she will have a wonderful big sister. Your loving Mom." I wasn't shocked by the news of Mom's secret marriage. It's very romantic. I was shocked because my father helped my mom and Mr. Giannini. And my dad stopped Grandmère's plans. My dad has always been frightened of Grandmère. I went up to my father and put my arms around him. I hugged him tightly. "You did it, Dad," I said, laughing. "Grandmère will be really mad when she knows the truth."
"Why are you surprised, Mia?" he said. "I'm not frightened of my mother. She isn't as bad as you think."
Just then, Vigo came over to us.
"Your Highness," he said to my dad, "your mother, the Dowager Princess Clarice, is in her hotel suite. She won't come out. She's upset and embarrassed."
My dad and I went up to my grandmère's penthouse suite. My dad knocked on the door.
"Mother," he called, "it's Philippe. Please open this door at once."
There was no reply. "Dad," I said quietly, "let me speak to her." "Grandmère, it's me, Mia," I called through the door. "Mom and Mr. Giannini eloped, and I'm really sorry, but Mom didn't want this big wedding. I told you that." Still there was no reply. "Grandmère," I said, "you're not behaving like a princess. A princess must always be brave, even if things go wrong. You taught me that. A princess must never hide her face. Come down to the ballroom. Come to the party and speak to your guests." Suddenly the door opened and Grandmère came out. She was wearing a purple dress and she had jewels in her hair.
"Of course I'm going back to the party," she said. "I had to put on more makeup. That's why I came up here." I looked at my dad and my dad looked at me.
"Of course, Grandmère," I said. Then Grandmère did a surprising thing. She held my arm. Then I held my dad's arm. The three of us stood in the hallway, joined together. It was a very special moment. Sunday, November 2nd, 2 p.m. Everybody had a very good time at the party. Later in the evening, Hank arrived. Mamour and Papour were pleased to see him, and so were all the girls. He looked gorgeous. He even asked Grandmère to dance. At 10 o'clock, Lars's cell phone rang. It was my mom calling from Mexico. She and Mr. Giannini were drinking champagne on a beach. She was really happy. I talked to her quietly because I didn't want Grandmère to hear. A few minutes later, my dad came up to me.
"Mia, don't you want to meet your friends tonight?"
he asked. I hadn't forgotten about the Rocky Horror movie, but I remembered Grandmère's words to me in princess classes.
"Your family is more important than your friends,"
she had said. But now Grandmère was happy. She had forgotten about me. She was dancing with a famous film actor. "Yes," I said to my dad, "I do want to meet my friends." Well, you can go, he said. Lars drove me to the Rocky Horror movie theater. When we got there, we drove up and down the street looking for my friends. Suddenly, I saw Lily. Boris and Michael were with her. Kenny Showalter and Michael's other friends from the computer club were there too. They were all dressed in weird costumes. They looked like characters from horror films and ghost stories. I got out of the car and ran toward them. Michael stared at me. I don't have a horror costume, I said, looking down at my dress. I'm sorry. You look really, he said. Then he stopped. What was he going to say? Didn't I look okay? Did my dress look stupid? We sat and watched the movie. I was sitting in a seat between Michael and Kenny. Lars sat behind me. Michael didn't say much. Kenny tried to talk to me, but I was only thinking about Michael. I sat beside him in the dark, and it was wonderful. The movie lasted for 2 hours, and it was really good. Afterwards, we went to a cafe called Round the Clock. I sat between Michael and Kenny. Everyone talked very loudly. Suddenly, Kenny whispered something in my ear. Have you had any interesting mail lately? He asked. Then I realized the truth. Michael wasn't Josie Rocks. Kenny was my secret admirer. Kenny is a really nice boy and I like him, but he isn't as sexy and attractive as Michael Moskovitz. I looked at Kenny and I tried to smile. Oh, Kenny, I said. Are you Josie Rocks? Yes, said Kenny. Will you come on a date with me, Mia? I was very disappointed. Kenny is a good friend, but do I want him to be my boyfriend? No, I'm in love with Michael, but I didn't want to hurt Kenny's feelings. I spoke kindly and quietly to him. Okay, Kenny, I said. I'll go out with you. Kenny smiled and put his arm around my shoulders. Michael saw Kenny putting his arm around me and smiling. Suddenly, Michael stood up. There was a weird expression on his face. I'm tired, he said. Let's go home. What's wrong, Michael? Said Lily in a surprised voice. I'm tired too, I said. Lars, please can we go to the car? Mia, can I call you later? Asked Kenny. Lily looked at me. Then she looked at Kenny. Then she looked at Michael. Suddenly she stood up too. Come on, she said to Boris. It's time to go. Lily, Boris, Michael and I went in the limousine with Lars. Michael sat beside me in the car. He was silent and I felt terrible. Everything had gone wrong. At last we arrived at the Moskovitz's apartment. Suddenly Michael turned toward me. You look really nice in that dress, he said. I smiled at him. Suddenly I felt happy again. Now I'm sitting in Grand-Mère's suite at the Plaza Hotel. Maybe things aren't so bad. Soon I'm going to have a new baby brother or sister. And I've got a really nice new stepfather, Mr. Giannini. Kenny called at midday. I'm going to see a Japanese movie with him at 4 o'clock. After that, I'm going to Lily's place. I'm going to spend the night there. We're going to watch a video of my favorite movie, Dirty Dancing. Yesterday was a special experience. Maybe I'll see Michael at breakfast tomorrow morning. That will be better than anything.